What's going on, bro? So, today I just want to talk to you about doing one thing at a time. And I'll explain what that means in a second, but I just want to tell you a couple stories first. So, throughout all of my life, I have been a slow eater. I know that might seem like weird. Like, okay, what the fuck is this dude talking about? He's talking about doing one thing at a time. He's talking about he's being a slow eater. What does that mean? What I mean by slow eater is that I would take hours and hours and hours to finish one meal. You don't understand. Like, it would be like an actual problem. I would take a cup like 3 hours to finish one meal, like one simple meal that usually should take like a couple, maybe an hour at most to finish. It would take me like three. And this used to be a huge problem. I remember like when I used to be a child, like my parents always used to scream at me, like, finish, come on, finish the food faster, come on. We gotta do this thing, we gotta do this thing, you got homework to do, you gotta do this. You gotta go to practice, bro, come on. Finish your food faster. It would always be a huge problem. Because I would do something like that everybody does whilst they eat. Because when I used to eat food every single time, even when I was a little child, I would always watch something. Every single time I would always be watching a movie or maybe a TV show or some sort of YouTube video. I would always be watching something. One day when I came home from school and I sat down to eat food, I was like, my mom made some food. I thanked her for it. I grabbed it from the little pot that she made it from. I put it in my bowl, went down to the dining room, sat down, started eating. And I was watching some like random, TV show or whatever. And then my mom suggested something very simple but very, very effective. You can probably already think about what it is. She told me, hey, why don't you just eat your food without watching something? Just for today. You don't have to do it for like the rest of your life, but maybe just for today, just try it. Try and eat this meal without watching something. And so I did. I put my phone away. I was like, all right, I'll give it a try because I'd never done this before. It was weird. The only time I would do this, like eat without my phone, was when I would like go out to restaurants or something, right? So I sat down. I put my phone away. Like I gave her her phone. She's like, "Here, give me your phone. Just eat this food without like watching something." I was like, "All right, fine." So I gave her my phone. And I went to eat like this meal that she made. And I'm telling you right now, I finished the meal in less than 20 minutes. Think about this, right? I used to be a slow eater for most of my life. Slow as fuck. If you know me in real life, if you're watching this video, you know me in real life, you know for a fact that I'm a slow eater. Even to this day, still, like, I kind of eat, like, relatively slowly. I'm talking, like, hours and hours just to finish one meal. When I stopped watching things, when I stopped doing two things at once whilst I eat my food, like, sometimes I would also, like, do work whilst I eat my food. It's just like, what? Like, why? Like, I remember every time I used to do work, like, try to do homework or try to, like, do something else whilst I was trying to eat food, it would always be shit. I'm not gonna lie. It would just be like, not only would I not eat the food, not only would I like the food still like, imagine like a big plate of like rice and stuff. Not only would that plate of rice still be full, the work also would just be shit. I would take like a couple bites of like the food that I was trying to eat and trying to like do the work or trying to like watch the movie or TV show or whatever. And most of the time it would always depend on what I was doing. So if I was like watching a movie or like watching some random pointless YouTube video like this one, I would take like one bite of the meal and I would never ever take like another bite for like an hour. Whereas that day when my parents or my mom was like, "Hey, why don't you eat this meal without your phone?" 20, 30 minutes later, boom, I was done. what does this mean? What does this story that I'm telling you mean about doing one thing at a time? What does that mean? Because you can probably relate to this, but I would always be a multitasker. So whenever I would do work, I would always try and eat food. I would always try and like message people or something. I remember those, like, actually remember those times when I used to play video games for like hours and hours every single day. Um, like you might have done this too, but for me personally, I remember I used to be playing the game like on the controller, just like staring at the screen for like hours and hours. But like throughout the game, I would like always like grab my phone and like check it for like some random BS. And it would be a very common experience where I would also like there would be like a YouTube video playing on my phone whilst I would be like, building a house in Minecraft, for example. Whilst I was in Minecraft, or maybe even while I was playing like an FPS, a first-person shooter, where you need like your full focus and attention, right? Like I remember the last time you played like Call of Duty Warzone, right? It's intense, right? You don't want to get sniped across the map. You don't want to die, maybe your teammates yelling at you or something. Every single time, I would always just like watch a YouTube video whilst playing it. Every single time. I could never do one thing at once. Every time when I sat down to eat food, I always needed something to be stimulated. Whilst I was having a shit too. You can remember this too as well. Like when was the last time like you went to the toilet without taking your phone? I know that might sound weird, but like really, really think. Maybe when you were a child, right? Maybe you were like a little tiny baby when you were like crawling on all fours. Yeah, but you would like even then you would take a shit in the middle of the floor, right? I think that we don't give anything, like any task, our full attention. These days, at least. I know that might sound cringe. I know that might sound like, oh yeah, he's just like yapping on about like something or whatever the fuck. But it's true. Chances are, whilst you were watching this video, like throughout all of the stories that I told you, you were checking the suggested videos, you were maybe like messaging somebody else, you were checking Instagram, you were checking Snapchat or TikTok or whatever. Now, as soon as I said that, you were refocusing back onto me, but like throughout all this time, all these 8 minutes that I've been talking to you, chances are you probably weren't paying attention. Chances are, like most people, like they just clicked off, didn't they? You're still here because you actually have the attention span to sit through an 8-minute video, which is not even that long. This video is like it doesn't have any edits. It's just pure, just unedited, and like no clips, no like taking out like all like the junk volume or whatever, like the empty space or whatever. It's just me talking with some words on the screen. If you have the attention span to sit through like almost 9 minutes of just pure unedited, just this guy telling stories about when he was a child, respect. Because you actually know how to like give your full attention to something, to at least one thing. When we work, what do? Chances are, like a lot of the times, when we work, when we're like doing homework, when we're like, for me at least, when I'm like scripting a video or something, chances are, like if you're a teenager watching this, when you're doing homework, what do you do most of the time? A lot of people listen to music. A lot of people might eat food. A lot of people might like have a YouTube video or like a movie or a TV show playing in the background. We don't give anything our full attention these days. We always want to be stimulated by something. But I'm telling you right now, it's like you think that is more enjoyable than just like, like sitting there and like doing one thing at one time. sitting there and like truly paying attention to the food that you're eating, sitting there and like truly focusing on that one task, that one big task that's going to move you further ahead in whatever it is, in school and in business, whatever, right? That is much harder to do than to eat sugary cereal and watch a YouTube video at the same time. If you're gonna eat a sugary cereal like that tastes good, it's not even that good for you, fine. Might as well like actually enjoy it if you're gonna do that, right? Like I might as well sit there and eat the sugary cereal, but don't eat it in like this weird, like a mindless way where you're just like watching another YouTube video about some random BS whilst you do it. Why not eat it in like a way where like you actually enjoy it and you actually get the most amount of benefit and enjoyment from that? I think this is like how a lot of people waste time as well. Because going back to that eating story, every single time, I'm telling you right now, like every single day, hours and hours would just be wasted of me just sat there on the fucking dining table just doing a bunch of random bullshit. Every single day, bro. Hours and hours just wasted. Why? It's like, listen, our parents were right. You know those times when like your parents would be like, oh yeah, it's because of that fucking phone. When like, you made a mistake or something. We used to have these like this like I remember every time my parents would say that, I used to be like this little arrogant motherfucker when I used to be like, oh no, but actually no, like it's not because of the phone, because of this and this and this. Yes, sir, it was. It was 100% because of that phone. Like listen, we're not meant to be staring at a rectangle for half our day. That's not what we're built for. So yeah, our parents were right. It is probably because of that phone. That phone that you have right now in your hand, that phone that you might be scrolling through, maybe you're watching this on your computer, that phone that you have like right next to you, or maybe you're watching this on your phone, that phone that you have, that you're checking the suggested videos with, that you're Snapchatting people with right now as we speak. That's the problem. So yes, our parents are right. That's how we waste time, because when I didn't eat without my phone, I know that like that story might seem weird, but it is really important. I learned really something very valuable from that being, or that lesson being that yes, it is that damn phone. Because when I didn't eat without my phone, I finished the meal in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And the crazy thing is that I actually enjoyed the food better. And yeah, I ate faster. A lot of people think, or at least I had this belief, that if I ate the food like without any stimulation, I wouldn't eat faster. I would always think like, oh yeah, because I could eat faster and I can multitask and I could, like I could like, oh yeah, I can watch a podcast whilst I eat, bro. I don't know about you, but like whenever, like every single time I would try and watch a podcast or like watch some kind of educational video, or even just like a regular like random like even just like a TV show, I wouldn't remember shit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Every single time I would eat and watch something, I wouldn't even remember. I wouldn't remember anything notable from it. The times when I would remember the most, even whilst like doing like pointless shit, like watching TV shows and whatnot, the times when I would actually remember what happened is when I would just sit there and watch it. I would do nothing else. I would just be sat there on the couch, just watching a TV show. No food, no nothing. Doing one thing at one time. You see what I mean here? It's like you like listen. You've also probably like seen that diagram. I don't know if you've seen the diagram that I'm talking about before, or that I am going to talk about, where it's the one where it's there's two circles. Like you can imagine one circle here that says E in it. That stands for energy. And that one circle just has like one big arrow coming off of it, like one gigantic arrow, right? Like in length at least. And there's two circles. One circle's like that where it has like a big arrow like that, and then there's another circle. Same thing, has an E in the middle. But instead of like one big arrow, it has like 10, 20, 30 like tiny little arrows coming off of it. That second circle that I talked about, the one with like the E and like the bunch of tiny little arrows coming off of it. That is us when we try and multitask. That is us when we try and, do everything at once. Because when you spread out your, at least for me at least, when I spread out my energy and like into this thing and this thing and this thing, I'm gonna eat whilst I do this, and I'm gonna do this and this and this. I make no progress in any of it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's like when, like, again, I know this, like, the story might seem like pointless and weird and whatnot. I remember those times when I would eat food whilst I tried to like watch something. The food wouldn't even taste that good because I wasn't paying attention to it. I was just being mindless, and I wouldn't learn anything or remember anything or gain any value or enjoyment from the thing that I was watching. For me personally, at least. Whereas once you do one thing at one time, that second circle that I made you picture in your mind, the one with like the E and then which stands for energy again, and it has like that gigantic arrow that's coming off of it. That's us when we do one thing at one time, because we can pour all of our energy into a certain task. For me, at least. The times when I would get the most work done weren't when I was listening to music, weren't when I was like trying these weird productivity hacks or whatever the hell. It wasn't when I was eating food whilst I tried to do work. It was when I just sat there, no music, no nothing, no distractions at all, and I just worked on the task at hand. That's it. The times when I would eat the fastest was when I would just focus on eating food, nothing more. I remember actually like a couple of days ago I was in the gym, and it was one of those days where I had like a really really good workout. I was like, it was odd because like for the it was actually a few days ago, because for the last couple of weeks, I'm not even gonna lie, like the gym sessions, like I still like going to the gym. I still use discipline. I don't make excuses. The last couple like few weeks of gym sessions, like they were kind of just like flat. Like yeah, I trained hard and I got a pump and like it was good, but it wasn't like those like really really like good workouts. You know what I mean? But just a few days ago, I had like an amazing workout. It was like great, like one of the best that I've had in like a while. So I was sitting there just like doing my like on the leg curl machine after I did my set. My friend just said the same thing that I was thinking, like, damn, like I haven't had a good workout like this in a while. Like he said that to me. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. And after I came home that day, I was like, I kind of just thought to myself, like, what were the best gym sessions that I had? Were they the ones where I was mindless on my phone, looking at Instagram, looking at girls on Instagram? The ones where I was scrolling on TikTok and trying to message people back on Snapchat and like WhatsApp and whatnot. Yes, I use WhatsApp, by the way. Because I'm brown. Look at my skin color, bro. Come on. Was it those? Or was it the ones where I had my headphones in, I was listening to music, I didn't change the playlist at all. I just let my gym playlist play out, and I was sweating and grunting and training hard. The ones where like my face would turn red out, like my friend said this to me, like every time I go to the gym I look like I'm taking a fat dump. I know that might sound weird, but every time I go to the gym I make like weird faces. I make like you know what I'm talking about, right? It was always those ones. The ones where I was just completely focused. I didn't think about anything else. I let the music just play out. I didn't touch my phone at all. Maybe I touched this, like move it from like this bench to like this machine that I was using, fine. But it wasn't the ones where I would use my phone. It wasn't the ones where I would be distracted by some random BS. Every single time, it would always be the ones where, once again, I did one thing at one time for a couple hours. Once you, like, it might sound weird, but like, it's kind of like a form of meditation, if you ask me. You know what I mean? It's like, I remember the times, again, those times I would eat food without my phone, which might sound weird, right? Every single time I eat food without my phone, it's kind of like a form of meditation, where it's like I get an urge to use my phone, or I'm thinking about this, and I'm not really thinking about like the food that's in front of me. I'm thinking about, school or work, or like some hot girl that I saw the other day, or something like that, right? And I just bring my focus back onto the breath. That's what we do in meditation, right? The same thing applies to this. I just brought my focus back onto the food that I was eating. Brought my focus back onto the work. I brought my focus back onto the work. That's how you train the brain this way. So maybe like your first little step of doing one thing at one time, which is super valuable because one, it trains your brain to like actually live like a normal functioning human being who doesn't need stimulation, and two, you get way more done. Like, trust me when I say, like, again, like that diagram that I made you visualize in your head. You do one thing at one time, you get to pour all of your energy into one certain thing. And so of course you're going to do more. Of course you're going to do way more per day, right? Maybe your first step of this, next time you do work, don't listen to music. Maybe not even have your phone next to you. Just do the work. Just confront the work. Maybe the next time you take a shit. Maybe the next time you go to the bathroom, don't bring your phone. Maybe just sit there and have like a mindful shit. I know that might sound weird. Just sit there and just sit there and shit and stare at the wall. Like, that's it. Maybe like next time you go eat food, you don't bring your phone at all. You don't listen to music, you don't watch any movies or TV shows, you don't even watch any YouTube videos. You don't try and learn anything whilst you eat food. Because again, what did I tell you? One, for me at least, I learned nothing. I'm not gonna lie to you, like every time I like try to learn something whilst I eat food, I learned nothing. And I didn't even like enjoy the food that I was eating anyway. Next time you go to eat food, just eat the food. Don't do anything else. Yeah, you're gonna get an urge to use your phone. Yeah, you're gonna get an urge to do this thing and this thing and this thing. You're gonna be thinking about this. You're thinking about that girl you got a crush on. You're thinking about the homework assignment that you have to do. Whatever it is, right? Just bring your focus back onto the breath. Bring your focus back onto the thing that you're doing. Bring your focus back onto the breath, back onto the food that you're eating, back onto the work task that you're doing, back onto the workout. That's how you train the brain this way. That's how I at least train my brain. And it works. And like, when you do one thing at one time, it's so peaceful. Like, it's so blissful to do this. Every time I eat food now, it's just blissful. It's just peaceful. I remember those times like I would eat food whilst like listening to like hype music or some like BS like that. Like, I don't even know why I would do that. Like, I would eat food and I would listen to music. Like, why? Now that I eat food with nothing, no stimulation, and it's just peaceful. I know the next thing I'm going to say might sound really, really like weird and retarded. I go to the bathroom to take a shit and it's peaceful. I know that might sound like really autistic, but like, it's true. You should try it for yourself. Every time I work out, I'm not checking Instagram, I'm not checking TikTok or Snapchat or anything. I'm just working. Every time I work, I'm not listening to music or anything. I'm just typing away. I'm just recording. I'm just doing the certain problems and the homework or whatever it is, right? It's oddly peaceful. And you get way more done. Do one thing at a time. That's it. It's probably like one of the most valuable things that I've learned over the past couple of years is just to do one thing at once. Not try to do like 10 different things at one time. From my experience, at least. Hope this video helped you. Take care.